Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Silicon Sounds, audio for the rest of us. Today, moving on with reviews, I have a full-size headphone. This is the Venture Electronics Vanguard. Excuse my desk setup, it's really set up for IAMs. I have to make those changes. Here we have the Vanguard. Now, let's get into this. And I really want you to listen to the end while I have my cup of Java, because I have a lot to say here. I'm no stranger to Venture Electronics. It's run by a charismatic Wildly, who actually is a pretty down-to-earth guy, if you ask me specifically. A nice guy to deal with. But it's a company best known for bringing to market good-sounding gear at reasonable prices. That being said, they do offer some other very high-end, or I should say higher-end products, which you should be aware of as well. But that's not where their focus is, at least with the majority of their product line. I've owned a number of their earphones as well. Their cables, which are fantastic. I'm going to show you what comes with the Vanguard, and a number of their standout dongles, and little amplifiers like the... there's so many different things that they have in their product lineup. A lot of thought's gone into their products, and it shows in terms of their sound. The Vanguard here retails for approximately $100 USD. It's a full-size over-ear headphone featuring a single 40mm dynamic driver. But let's get this out of the way. Not your typical headphone for many different reasons, one of which is it's hard to drive. It has a 300 ohm, yes, 300 ohm impedance, and a lower than usual 95 decibels per milliwatt sensitivity. It demands a capable source. And you really have to drive it well. What suffers if you don't is definitely the bass and the overall coherency, for example. You want to really bring the Vanguard to life. So supply it with a very capable source, which is blessed with some pretty good clean output. When the source meets this criteria, the Vanguard responds with a balanced yet nicely detailed sound that belies its more than reasonable asking price. Venture Electronics proclaims the Vanguard as a successor, I should say, to the Sennheiser HD600 and HD650. Let me get on my soapbox for a minute. Lofty talk coming out of VE for sure. But I'm really not one to appreciate the puffed up claims by marketing departments of any company. As giving it to them usually just creates lofty expectations if you give in to these descriptions. That more often than not fall short of being realized. I would prefer that accomplished companies allow a product to stand on its own merits instead of setting listeners up for an encounter with cognitive dissonance. That being said, and let me get off my soapbox now, and this is not just VE, it's Venture Electronics, I call them VE, a great company by the way, but many other producers of in-ear monitors, amplifiers, dongles. It's as if the marketing company has carte blanche on what they can say. That being said, I'm off the soapbox now. I will say that the Vanguard, sorry again, my desk setup here is more for IAMs and smaller electronics. That will change soon as I get into more full-size headphones. The Vanguard is a great sounding set with audio performance well above its asking price. So let's get into it. Specs. Driver is a 140mm biological diaphragm dynamic driver. Frequency response 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Rated power is 500 milliwatts. Sensitivity 95 decibels per 1 milliwatt. Impedance 300 ohms. The cable's a double 3.5 millimeter. You can see left and right. Choose whatever you want. Actually, the shape of the headphone will dictate what side. This is the right side. This is the left side. Sorry. Again, I'm holding it up as if it's an IEM. So we have the designated right here, and left. Really nice pads. One thing about the Vanguard, extremely comfortable. dual 3.5 millimeter plugs. So you can get cables pretty much anywhere, although you probably wouldn't have to. The cables supplied by Venture Electronics are standout, and I will show you them shortly. Weight, 260 grams. They're not the lightest headphones, but definitely far from being what I would call heavy. Again, very, very comfortable to wear. Build and fit. The Vanguard has a simple yet attractive design. Seems like this is either plastic or some kind of metal. Very, very good. Remember, folks, this is a $100 USD headphone. Really nice build. Doesn't feel cheap. And seems like it will last quite a while. This feels sturdy enough. Comfort is a big plus here. The Vanguard never felt uncomfortable even after long listening sessions. The supplied accessories are also of excellent quality. The 4.4 millimeter balance cable, and I should say cables because I have two of them here to show you, is quite nice and decent length and build quality. Actually, excellent build quality. And the included metal case, I should say the casing that comes in. I did not get the whole setup with this. I just got the Vanguard itself. But what I saw of the retail presentation, it's up to scratch definitely for something of that price. Now, let me put in the cables. The cables, here we have, and let me put the Vanguard aside for a minute. This is one of the two cables. Both of them come with 4.4 millimeter termination. Here's the first cable. Copper cable, really nicely done. If you can see that, company branding, let me put that right side up. Company branding right there, 4.4 millimeter termination, 2 by 3.5 millimeter plugs right here, right and left. Well, right will have the red. Now, the other cable is even more impressive looking. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Wind it up. It is more stiff. It's a fabric covered cable. Again, 2 by 3.5 millimeter and a 4.5 millimeter termination. Company branding clearly visible right there. Thick, really nice feeling. Definitely more stiff than the previous cable I showed you due to the sheathing. But these cables are really nice and long enough. Definitely a good deal. So this is what we have with the Vanguard, at least what I received. And I can tell you 2 thumbs up when it comes to the cables and the overall quality. Though everything sinks or swims based on the sound quality. So let's get into it. The bass is tight and balanced. Speed control and texturing are noteworthy. Sub-bass drive, though, with slam and rumble are moderate at best. Definitely not an earphone to shake the walls. So that's one thing to note. The mid-bass has great speed and snap. It's also very nicely articulate. Bass has great detail, but it's lean into the deepest registers. The deeper down you go, the leaner it is, and it does fall off. Though what's there is natural and organic. I did hear, and I did not test this, that the Vanguard does very well and takes well, I should say, to equalization. If that's the case, bringing up that sub bass, maybe the bass shelf somewhat, may actually balance this out even more. But definitely not a headphone for bass heads. Not to say that bass isn't there. It is there, but it is on the more lean side. Mid-range, the star of the show, in my opinion. Balanced mid-range presentation. Detail retrieval is good. Nice driver in here. Lively mid-range presentation without harshness. Vocals are usually slightly forward in the mix. Pleasing timbre and balance. There's a moderate pinna gain, but there's little to no harshness here. Note weight and density are adequate. Again, something to take away is that in the mid-range, the note density is decent. It's good. Of course, the thickness that you would have with the underpinning of the bass may be a little on the lean side. Layering and separation are also good. Transits exhibit a sharp, rapid attack with natural decay. Fast driver in this. Overall mid-range clarity is quite notable. Organic delivery with natural instruments and vocals noted. Treble. Treble extends well. Energetic yet clear treble with smooth delivery. Energetic, sharp yet smooth. A nice balance here. Detail retrieval is good. Pleasing quantities of sparkle and air. The treble adds spaciousness to the tracks. Sometimes it's the bass that brings out the headspace. With the Vanguard, it's definitely the upper registers that bring out the headspace. The treble presentation has significant presence without overshadowing the other frequencies. So the treble is present, but not overbearing. So let's put it all together in terms of what is the sound of the Vanguard. The Venture Electronics Vanguard offers an energetic listening experience from its standout clarity to its clean yet responsive delivery. There is much to like here, absolutely. Of course, there's some caveats, and it really comes down to what type of music the listener enjoys. While most jazz, smooth jazz, and vocal-focused tracks in particular will sound absolutely wonderful on the Vanguard, and they do, songs or tracks or genres that have a strong bass underpinning like drum and bass, majority of house music, and hip-hop, for example, may come up somewhat short on impact due to the leaner bass. Again, I've been told that the Vanguard does take to equalization well, but I couldn't test that out, and I did not. I prefer to listen to things out of the box. I'm not really a fan of EQ. It is what it is. Knowing this, I have to say that the Vanguard has been my companion for many hours of enjoyable listening. It is one of the few products that just begs the listener to just listen and stop being critical. It has a wonderful, clean, yet smooth delivery with a large open soundscape rarely found on listening to IEMs. So it has all of that. And one big thing about the Vanguard is its comfort. It is absolutely very comfortable. I have another set of headphones in, which do sound good, but nowhere near as comfortable as the Vanguard. Imaging and soundstage, large, open soundstage. Instrument placement is accurate. The dimensions balance with slightly more prominent width, but the dimensions, width, height, depth, they're all there. Notable instrument spacing, space around the instruments, you can really tell that. Layering and instrument separation are also pleasing. Not the best I've heard, but enough so that it doesn't collapse the sound, the head stage, and the Vanguard really holds its own on projecting the music. So, conclusion on the Venture Electronics Vanguard. Unabridged. Conclusion. The Venture Electronics, please forgive me, the Venture Electronics Vanguard is a statement product. I say this because you would be hard-pressed to find a distinctly better sounding over-ear headphone at $100 or even higher. It does compete with headphones that do cost appreciably more. Venture Electronics has played to its strengths in offering an incredible price-performance ratio product. The Vanguard is such a product. Price performance here is, it's really good. There are things to note though. The Vanguard will take a capable source only. If you power it insufficiently, the sound will suffer. A capable source is required. High output, clean, stable sound. I would actually mate this with something that has a warmer sound signature to balance things out a bit, even more. If you want to extract all the performance it's capable of. Also, those wanting skull-shaking bass in the deepest registers will probably be disappointed out of the box. That being said, listeners who value headphones with exceptionally clear audio, combined with great comfort and good build quality, should definitely consider the Venture Electronics Vanguard. This is a good one, folks. With those caveats in mind, still great set of headphones. I want to thank you for joining me today for the review of the Venture Electronics Vanguard. Look forward to more reviews. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again soon on Silicon Sounds, audio for the rest of us.